from WTVO 17 and your home team. Eyewitness News at 5 starts now.
We did hear screams, but I couldn't tell where they were coming from the rubble, from the apartments. People were on their balconies, waving flashlights, yelling to the firefighters.
A condo high-rise collapses in Florida. Emergency crews sift through the wreckage, looking for dozens of missing people.
Police call on the community for help after murder charges are handed down to 3 Rockford men. 2 of the alleged killers are behind bars. The third is still on the loose.
Plus, some residents along the Rock River worry the Chemtool fire may have lasting effects on the waterway. One woman shows us what's washing up on her back doorstep.
Good evening. I'm Mimi Murphy.
And I'm Eric Wilson. At least one person is dead and nearly 100 others are missing after a condominium building collapses near Miami.
Now rescue crews are working to locate and save as many people as possible. Steve Harrigan has more on the delicate search.
Emergency crews combing through the rubble of a collapsed condo building near Miami, searching for people trapped underneath. More than 80 fire and rescue units are using canines, cameras, and sound equipment to search the debris of the Champlain Towers condos. Their efforts resulting in dozens of rescues in the hours following the deadly incident.
We're going to do our very best to save as many people in that pile of rubble as we possibly can.
Around 1:30 Thursday morning, residents woke to a thunderous noise. The 12-story building splintered, exposing about half of the 130 units. The exact number of people inside at the time, unclear.
I could feel the ground shake. I mean, it sounded like thunder. I thought a storm was coming until, literally I felt the ground shake a second time when the other half of the building fell.
Concerned friends and loved ones are gathering at a nearby reunification center, waiting for answers.
I have friends that live there, and they have no idea because they were in the South Tower. There's no news yet.
Authorities do not yet know what caused the sections of the condo to crumble, but work was being done on the roof. Surfside Mayor Charles Burkett says he does not believe that contributed to the collapse.
I know that they are going to have engineers looking at this to try to identify what happened. You're not going to have those answers immediately, but I know that they are diligently going to be working to be able to do that.
That was Steve Harrigan reporting. A bipartisan group of senators and President Joe Biden say they've agreed to a deal on infrastructure. The deal would see $1.2 trillion in spending over 8 years. $579 billion of that would be new spending for the first 5 years. The money will go towards projects like roads and bridges, rail and water systems, and broadband. Lawmakers say the plan will be fully paid for and will not increase taxes.
I think it's really important. We've all agreed that none of us got what we wanted. I clearly didn't get all I wanted. They gave more than I think maybe they were inclined to give in the first place. Bipartisan deals means compromise.
The bill still has to be written before both chambers of Congress can vote. Democratic leaders say the only way the plan will get that vote is if there's a partner reconciliation bill that includes priorities like social welfare and family benefits.
8 months after a Rockford woman is killed during a home invasion, police say they know who did it. Nikithian Johnson, Dory Love, and Brandon Taylor are all charged with first-degree murder. Johnson and Love were already behind bars on unrelated charges. Taylor is still at large. In October, someone shot and killed 46-year-old Tammy Gonzalez in an alley behind a home on 15th Avenue. A family member took her to the hospital, but it was too late. Investigators say the men were trying to rob Gonzalez. If you know where Brandon Taylor is, call Rockford Police or Crime Stoppers.
A week and a half after explosions and fire rocked the Rockton Chemtool plant, cleanup continues. Much of the focus is on homes within a 1-mile radius of the plant.
But the debris reached far beyond the evacuation zone. Rachel Perry joins us in the studio. Rachel, you talked with one woman forced to clean up who lives more than 3 miles downriver.
That's right, Mimi and Eric. One woman who lives along the Rock River outside the 1-mile evacuation zone says she found chunks of debris washed up on the shoreline.
There's still a lot along the shorelines here that needs to be taken care of too.
Mary Heffercamp's house backs up to the Rock River, about 3 miles south from the Chemtool plant. More than a week after the fire and explosions, this is what she's seeing.
Went down to my backyard in the shoreline and found all kinds of debris. And then in the river, there was debris all along the river line. And at that point, I got very concerned. I wasn't sure what I was to do.
She says she watched the debris land in front of her house and was shocked.
I think that in my pictures, and I do have a video of it, would explain more as to the magnitude of how far this stuff really flew and landed into various areas.
Now she says she worries for the wildlife who call the river home.
I think we need to help pick up the rivers and clean them up as much as we can for the time being.
Chemtool tells me the debris removal company, Clean Harbors, would also pick up anything that comes out of the river. The Illinois EPA says there are no reports of contaminated groundwater or on the Rock River, but tests are still ongoing. Still, Mary says being able to see this in her backyard is concerning.
I see a lot of kayakers. I see people coming down the river. My concern is the safety of our community.
The river from the Rockton Dam up to Wisconsin is still closed to boaters, so workers near the Chemtool plant can get in and out of the river safely. There's no word on when this could reopen. Eric?
Thanks, Rachel. Work is set to resume at a Rockford Quarry. That means you might hear some loud booms over the next few months. William Charles Construction operates the quarry at Charles and South Mulford. Blasting will happen about once every 3 weeks through August. William Charles says the explosions are scheduled for weekdays between 7 in the morning and 3:30 in the afternoon. A special use permit allows for the work. If you have any questions, call William Charles. You can find that number at mystateline.com.
One of the state line's largest employers will once again shut down due to a global microchip shortage. The Belvidere Fiat Chrysler assembly plant will be down the week of July 5th. Owner Stellantis says it's reevaluating the supply of microchips every 2 weeks. It's the latest in a string of shutdowns. Last month, Stellantis also announced the plant would move from 3 to 2 shifts. That takes place July 26th. 1,600 workers will be affected. The Belvidere assembly plant manufactures the Jeep Cherokee. The nationwide ban on evictions has been extended. It had been set to expire next Wednesday. The moratorium will now continue for an extra month until July 31st. Until then, states and local governments are being encouraged to streamline distribution of $47 billion in emergency rental assistance. State courts are also being asked to find alternatives that would protect tenants and landlords. The ban is meant to help the millions of tenants unable to make rent payments during the pandemic. The White House says this is expected to be the last extension.
The latest round of Americans who applied for unemployment benefits falls from the week before. 411,000 people filed for aid last week. That's down 7,000. Many states will soon cut off pandemic-related assistance programs because businesses are having a hard time hiring workers. 26 states will end an extra $300 weekly federal payment this month. 4 already have. The additional $300 is scheduled to end nationwide September 6th. Across Illinois, the number of people out of work continues to drop. In Boone and Winnebago counties, May unemployment was 8.4%. That's far better than a year ago when it was just over 20%. We're still the highest metro area in the state. In that time, 6,000 jobs were created. Hospitality and retail saw the biggest gains. Both were the hardest hit by COVID-19. Summer nights in America can mean city markets.
In Moline, Illinois, the Latin Food and Entertainment Festival didn't happen last summer because of the pandemic, but it's back. Redrick Terry shows us what's on tap for Mercado on 5th in this Destination Illinois Encore.
Food and family fun, all things you can expect at Moline's Mercado on 5th. It's an outdoor market and fiesta that's been going on for 5 years now. The president of the event says it started as a family project and has since grown into so much more.
It was originally an idea from my grandfather, Bob Ontiveros, who grew up in the Floresciente neighborhood next door. And it was his goal to develop a market that would spur economic development and also create a gathering space for the community.
The food, music, and games of the Mercado, as it's known today, didn't start out as such. It started out as a farmer's market. But El Mercado's treasurer, Chris Ontiveros, says it was the community that helped it along in a much-needed transformation.
They wanted to do something at night, so we moved the event to evenings versus during the day. And we went from 20 guests to 50 to 100 to 500 to, I think, a couple nights last year we had a couple thousand.
Historically, the Mercado has been an outdoor event here in downtown Moline, but coming very soon, visitors can anticipate a new indoor edition.
We purchased this building in December of 2019, and we have since gutted it, so it's ready, primed and ready for the next step of development.
We're not going to dictate what the building is. We're going to bring in new plumbing, new sanitation, new electric, new heating and cooling, and then we're going to get out of the way.
Regardless of what the future holds, you can ask almost anyone who's been there. There's a lot to like about Mercado on 5th.
It's a great place to start the weekend. Grab some food, listen to some music, hang out with the family. We have tons of kids' activities, and it happens every Friday night.
In Moline, Illinois, for Destination Illinois, I'm Redrick Terry.
Now your first warm weather forecast with meteorologist Kevin Doom.
So far, much of our Thursday has featured some on and off rain showers. We had a few thunderstorms move through a little bit earlier as well. Still seeing a few lighter showers across parts of the area, but most of the state line right now is dry. You see out to our west, we actually see a little bit of clearing. That's going to leave us with a little bit of a break from the rain here over the next few hours, but actually this clearing could maybe allow one or two thunderstorms, possibly stronger thunderstorms, to pop up a little bit later on this evening and overnight. We already have our next storm system headed our way from the west. You can see this cluster of showers and a few stronger, even one severe thunderstorm making its way through parts of the plains and into parts of western Iowa. That's tied to a completely different system than what we're seeing now, and that's just going to keep the rain chances coming here over the next couple of days. So with our futurecast, here's sort of that break from the rain that we're going to see over the next few hours. The few scattered showers will likely be back, though, later on this evening and through the overnight, when we can maybe see one or two pop-up thunderstorms as well. And then the rain chances are going to keep on moving through the day tomorrow, maybe even seeing a little bit more widespread showers through our Friday, and a few thunderstorms also expected for our Friday as well. And then going on through the overnight, rain chance going to stick with us, and then even heading on into Saturday. However, coverage shouldn't be quite as widespread for Saturday. They're probably going to be a little bit more isolated, but once again, showers and even a chance for a few thunderstorms here and there for the start to our weekend. Now, the Storm Prediction Center has really dialed back on its potential for strong to severe storms over the state line, but stronger storms are still possible, mainly with just very heavy rainfall being our biggest concern, because over the next several days we are expecting pockets of heavier rainfall to pop up here and there throughout the area. Now, total rainfall totals are going to be very variable over the state line, just due to the scattered nature of these showers that we're expecting over the next few days, but much of the area is still expected to receive upwards of a few inches of rainfall. If we take a look at rainfall through the next 72 hours, you can see the majority of the rain is expected to fall just to our south here. We in the state line still expecting to receive quite a lot of rain, but right now we do have a flash flood watch in effect for most of central Illinois. Nothing issued for the state line just yet, but flash flooding is still possible here and there throughout parts of the state line, and even maybe a little bit of minor river flooding. So just a reminder, if you do happen to encounter floodwaters over the next few days, never ever try to drive or walk through them. Doesn't take much water at all to carry your car away. In fact, only half a foot of water is even enough to sweep you off your feet. So never try to trek through any sort of floodwaters if you do happen to encounter them over these next few days here. Here's a live look over downtown Rockford using a Mercy Health SkyTrack. We're not seeing any rain right now, just some cloudy skies for the time being. But as we saw, the rain will be back here before long. Temperatures were very up and down today. They would heat up, and then it would rain, then they'd cool down a little bit, and they would heat up, and so on and so forth. And now we're in the upper 60s and lower 70s. 72 currently in Rockford, 75 in Janesville, 69 in DeKalb and Rochelle, and 70 currently over in Freeport. And our temperatures are not going far at all through the night. We're seeing lows in the upper 60s and lower 70s, with showers and a few storms moving through overnight tonight. Of course, with that rain continuing on through tomorrow, temperatures should be into the upper 70s and lower 80s, with some warmer air being brought into the area thanks to our next storm system moving on in. We're going to stay in the upper 70s and lower 80s for highs through the week and into our next week. You can see every single day over the next 7 days as well, seeing at least a slight chance for some rainfall.
Now the Napleton Sports Desk with David Greenberg.
Game one of the Eastern Conference Finals wrapped up late last night between the Milwaukee Bucks and the Atlanta Hawks. Let's go right to the third quarter. This dude, Trae Young, he's legit, folks. Barely even looks and throws a perfect lob to John Collins for the alley-oop. Deep in the fourth, Drew Holiday showed off his passing skills. This three-quarter court pass up to Giannis, who finishes with the foul. Looks like the Bucks have some momentum. But like I said, Trae Young can hoop. Puts the moves on Holiday, draws contact, and flips it up for the and one. He had 48 points. 48. He also had 11 assists. big one to John Collins in the corner. Under a minute to go now. Young drives. Teardrop won't go. Scored by Clint Capella. Off the glass and in. That's the ball game. Chris Middleton went 6 of 23 from the field and 0 of 9 from 3. Giannis had 34 points. Here's both of their thoughts.
But at the end of the day, you got to find a way to get it done. You know, when the Eastern Conference Finals, you got to find a way to get it done. And we're going to watch the tape tomorrow, make some adjustment, and come back to game 2 and put ourselves in a position to win the game, hopefully.
It's got to be better. I mean, it's as simple as that. You know, getting to my spots, playmaking, just everything. It's got to be better.
And better's exactly right. 0 of 9 from 3 is not going to cut it. I looked at the numbers, so let's dive in and see why things turned out the way they did. Here's the biggest takeaway right here. Look at the difference in plus-minus between the two team starters. Bucks minus 28, Hawks plus 54. Then you look at the bench numbers. Bucks plus 13, Hawks minus 28. This tells me there needs to be improvements in the rotation, and that falls on the shoulders of head coach Mike Budenholzer.
Young's a great player. He had a great night. Give him credit. You know, we feel like we can play better. I'm sure they're going to think they can play better. We got to get ready for game 2 to get better.
Rivets are playing a doubleheader today, and what a game 1 they had, scoring 3 runs in the 9th to walk it off, pull off a 9-8 win. After the 4th inning, they were down 8-2, but clawed all the way back. Game 2 is coming up shortly. I'm about to head out the door, see if I can catch some of that action in game 2. That's it for sports. We'll be right back.